Next, to hear from our county, because Pete has been in the forefront of this in confrontations with ICE about the regional jail situation, and I was never more proud of the commissioner and our sheriff who voted against the proposal to work with ICE in the regional jail situation. He stood up for us. Thank you for that. So Pete, give the floor to Pete Gerken.
Thank you, Valdemar. And we're not done out there yet, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But I'm not as elegant as the mayor when it comes to literature or poems or history. I just can't. So I don't even try. I will say this, I've been a socialist and I am a trade unionist, and they ain't got me yet. There's still time, right? There's a saying right inside my office when you walk in. It's in poster form. It's been there for 20 years, and it's Dante, so I'm kind of getting close, Mayor. Literature, and it basically sells from it's from the Inferno piece. It says, "The hottest places in hell are solely reserved for those who, at a time of great moral crisis, maintain their neutrality." I don't want anybody out here going to hell, all right? Ain't nobody gonna get to be neutral today, right? And that's why you're here, and thank you. 55 years ago today, in Washington, D.C., there was 350,000 people surrounding the White House. That was 3 days after the murder of 4 students at Kent State. The country did not take that silently, and I was privileged to be a 18-year-old there that day to witness the history of that. Who would have thought 55 years later, those kind of things still go on in our country? But we have to do what they did then. We have to stand up, we have to be loud, and we can't back down. Here's what I learned from that day as a young man. That government, that was Richard Nixon, was afraid of the people. That government was afraid of us. We have a government today, we're not afraid of them, they're afraid of us, and they better be afraid of us. We're not the ones that are gonna live in fear. They're afraid of us right now, and how can we tell? Because they hide behind the secrets. And let's talk about the due process I'm supposed to talk about here in a minute. Let's go back to our detention center. All politics are local. There are 65 people right now, not from here, being detained in our regional jail in Stryker, Ohio. Now, the people of Lucas County, most of that are you, pay the largest share of the money that runs that jail. And even though Sheriff Navarre and I voted no on that, we are in the minority because of the structure of that system. Well, we're gonna have to stress that structure a little more. Since that day, I've asked them repeatedly, I want the charges of everybody they've picked up. Who are they supposed to pick up? Murderers, rapists, father killers, mother rapers. I'm gonna tell you what, there's none of those in that jail today. Right? Because who is in that jail? People, they don't even know what they're charged with. And their pat answer is, they're here illegally. Well, who says? ICE? We're gonna believe them? No! Right? Homeland Security? I think not. So we're fighting every day. We want that, and we want something else done out there, and we're gonna have to go to court for this one, probably. At least the courts are standing up a little bit. We got a shot. There are 65 people there. They've only taken 2 out. I'm going to demand that anybody that gets removed from that jail that is in our custody, they have to show us a deportation order. They can't just bring people in, drop them along, and pull them out and send them somewhere else. And I need you to help me when we go back to do that. No release without a deportation order. None of that. And finally, that is the lack of due process. When this government refuses to share information about the people they swept off the streets in 4 different states and landed in our neighborhood, when they won't tell you where they're going or how long they're going to keep you, that is not due process. That's the opposite. That's Gestapo stuff. Right? That is Germany in 1940. And don't be afraid to say it because it's true. And I love the sign back there, ICE Gestapo. It says it. Finally, I'm going to ask the commissioners, and I'm sure we can't violate laws, but Commissioner Lopez is here, has been stalwart with us on this. She's been side to side with the board on this. We appreciate her being here today. But I think what we need to do is say the Lucas County Courthouse is the county grounds. You know, talk about due process. The feds don't own the Lucas County Courthouse. We own the Lucas County Courthouse. The I'm going to ask for a resolution that says there will be no federal arrests on our grounds or in our buildings. We need to say that. There are victims of crime in this community that are undocumented that are now afraid to go to court to prosecute the people that have offended them because they're afraid they're going to go to court and get arrested. We can do something about that. What I'm looking for, we'll do what we can do locally. We're going to pass that resolution. No federal arrests in our courthouse, and I need everybody here to make sure the judges support us on that. Their courthouse too. We're going back to Stryker again soon if we don't get answers. We need a lot of people to go with us. And we'll let you know. Thank you, Baltimore.
Thank you.